Welcome back. We have Dr. John Hovannisian here today, and of course he is with Harvard Eye Associates. It's always good to see you, sir.
Always good to see you as well.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. It's always great to be here.
And
on D-Day.
On D-Day, yes. So honoring all those, really all those that served.
What an incredible generation it was that
yes.
took us through that war, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I really think that it's called the greatest generation for good reason. And it's nice every year we get to honor them. It's sad that there are fewer of them every year
yeah.
who actually fought in that war or lived through
that's true.
that time as adults.
So honor to all of them, and it's just, and really even to the folks that stayed back here. Of course, a lot of the women that worked in the factories, because without them and all that support, it
even
wouldn't
teens
have happened.
and children, everybody in this country got behind that effort, and everybody in this country at that time was responsible for our success, weren't they?
Yeah,
so
they really were.
It was an incredible generation.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, so presbyopia is a term that's a little bit confusing, but it's that problem that we run into as we reach mid-adulthood, where we start to lose our reading vision up close.
Yes.
And it happens to us, unfortunately, regardless of whether we are nearsighted or farsighted or have astigmatism. You know, if you wore glasses when you were in your 30s, probably by your late 40s you needed bifocals, or with those glasses you had a hard time seeing up close. There may be some exceptions, but for most people that is the case. And it just has to do with hardening of the lens inside the eye, a loss of its flexibility. Every part of us gets less elastic as we get older.
Yes.
Start to, I don't need to tell you about this. And it's true of the lens in the eye as well. And so this is a problem that affects all of us, and I would venture to say most of our viewers experience this because most who live here are in the age range for it.
Are there, I would be interested if you know this, the percentage of people who go through life that they don't even need reading glasses. They get into 90 years old and they can still read and see without glasses. It's got to be a pretty small percentage.
There are some, though, and it's amazing that if you're nearsighted to begin with, which you're not, I'm not, nearsighted means that without glasses as an adult, you couldn't see far away. You know, things are blurry, you needed glasses probably to pass a DMV test. But the one plus of that is that you get to see up close.
Right.
And without glasses, in fact, some people who are very nearsighted can see way up close without glasses, because their eyes are focused here, and of course those eyes are not focused out there at distance, and so they need glasses for that.
Right, and you've talked about that before, that when we're younger and our eyes are in good condition, the focal, the range is huge. It's almost like having one of those, the type of lenses on a camera or video lens especially, the focal length is really...
That's right. It's like an autofocus that has a lot of range to see very far and very close and everything in between. And we lose that, and we become eventually sort of like a fixed focus camera. Now, one interesting thing that happens is as we develop cataract, and cataract is the second stage of aging in the internal lens of the eye. The first stage is it loses flexibility. That's presbyopia, what we've been talking about. The second is that it becomes opaque. It becomes cloudy. It becomes more hazy. But as that happens, it changes its focus a little bit as well. And sometimes as the focus changes, if the haziness is not too bad yet, people do regain some reading vision. And so there's this honeymoon period where they say, yeah, I don't see quite as well as I used to, but I don't need my reading glasses as much as I used to either. And so there's changes throughout our life that happens. Once we do cataract surgery eventually, that stops changing. The eyes become fixed because the lens in the eye is replaced with a synthetic artificial lens that will outlast the patient by many years. It's permanent, and that sets the patient's, the person's vision for the rest of their natural life.
Let me ask you another question along with the whole reading glasses. I've noticed that at home, when I want to watch TV, and ours is probably 10, 15 feet away, let's say, not a huge screen, but 40-inch screen, whatever it is, I now need my glasses more than I normally do. Like when I was watching the basketball game last night, when there's a lot of action going on, I'll put them on. Where even just a year ago, I didn't need that. And of course, I obviously need them for reading. I just get the cheap reading glasses at this point.
So you're farsighted, and that farsighted is a really confusing term because it means that it implies that you can see far, right?
Well, yeah.
But as we have more birthdays, we lose even our far vision when we're farsighted. So what farsighted means is that your eyes, as a young person, a kid, can see far away because they're required to strain just a little bit to focus to see far.
Right.
And then to see up close, they have to strain even more, right? And how is it straining? Well, it's using that flexibility of the internal lens. So as we start to have birthdays, farsighted people need reading glasses earlier than others. In other words, your eyes just can't strain enough to read. And eventually, we reach an age where we can't even focus well to see far away because we've lost that. And so what's now happening for you, sorry to tell you, as birthdays progress for you, now the distance vision is hard without your farsighted glasses. But the good news is with them on, you see great.
Yeah, and there's always that saying that I've heard that they can tell your age, you know, where you start to use reading glasses, okay, you're probably over 40.
Yeah.
For me, it might have been a little bit later in my life. It was more about 50.
Yeah.
But still, is there anything you can do about it? Eat more carrots, or what?
Well, unfortunately, time is against us, so time always wins. But the more you push yourself and exercise those muscles to do more reading, the more actually they will work and allow you to see somewhat up close. But it's a losing battle eventually, and almost everybody eventually succumbs to wearing reading glasses or bifocals over their nearsighted glasses or whatever correction they have.
What about the light? And I always kid, my wife. I'm going, well, if I'm outside in bright sunlight and I'm looking at the package of the seeds that I'm going to plant, I don't need my glasses.
You bet. Thank goodness for light. I love this studio, lots of light. What happens with light is two things. First, there's more contrast on the page. The blackers are black and the white. The blacks are blacker and the whites are whiter. There's greater contrast. You can see better, and your pupil gets smaller. And if you remember the pinhole camera you built in elementary school, that's based on the idea that small apertures have better depth of focus. Without a lens at all, as you get a small enough aperture. But even with your own lens, you see better with a smaller pupil. So bright light helps us those two ways. And in fact, we're taking advantage of that with some new treatments for presbyopia, for reading vision. Probably later this year or early next year, we will have FDA approval of eye drops that are designed to help us not need our reading glasses.
Oh, wow.
Kind of remarkable.
Wow.
And there are at least 3 different companies that are pursuing this kind of technology that are in the process of FDA approval. And there will be, we anticipate probably it will be a pay out of pocket kind of thing. But for people who are not ready for or not interested in surgery, but would like to not wear reading glasses so much, it's a pretty appealing thing.
And I assume that during this trial period, they also look, how is this going to be a long-term effect if there will be, all the usual stuff they have to look at.
Yeah, and we think that, the kind of medicines that are being looked at are not new ideas. They've been used for other treatments over time. And so we know them to be pretty safe. It's just a question of proving to the FDA that they work to help people read.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it's a great idea,
this
right?
isn't, in the scope of things, this is not a big deal.
Right.
It's a hassle, though, especially when, nowadays, whenever I go to whatever store, I keep pairs everywhere. And I'll run into the grocery store, forgot my glasses. Yeah, so I got to run back out to the car and get them. And that's really what, it's inconvenience, that's all it is.
It's inconvenience, and it's also vanity, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that sometimes you don't want to take out those reading glasses when you're at a dinner party because nobody else is wearing them and feel your age.
Wow,
to be able to take some drops and then for the rest of the evening or even the rest of the day not to need reading glasses would be a very neat thing. Yeah. And we have some other surgeries. There's a surgery coming along that is designed to restore our natural ability to focus. It's a procedure that alters the outside shape of the eye in a very slight way that seems to give a little more mechanical advantage to the muscles in the eye that are that work to focus it. So while we can increase, and actually there's some drops designed to increase the flexibility of the lens as well. So lots of development in this area of presbyopia that in the next few years we're going to see get very exciting.
That is great. And I assume that when all these different things come out, with these different options, the first step is to get your eyes examined.
That's right.
And together with your eye care professional, you'll figure out what is the right way to go for you at this point in time.
Yeah, that's right. There's what personally works for you and your lifestyle is important, what your prescription is, what the health of your eyes is, and other matters would decide what direction best to go. And so it's an exciting time with all the developments we have, and I'm looking forward to helping patients receive them.
All right, very good. Thank you for coming on.
What a pleasure.
And always the folks at Harvard Eye Associates, just great folks. I mean, they really are. And they're knowledgeable, but more importantly, I think above all else, all of you over there, you are experts at just relating to people. It's just understanding and, you know, understanding their needs before you move on to something else.
We have the best patients in the world. They're the nicest people. They send all their friends and relatives to us, and we love helping them by understanding their problems and bringing the latest technology to get them through to whatever they need.
And there's a lot coming.
Yeah, there is a lot coming.
Thank you very much, sir.
My pleasure. Always
you have
a
good day, and we'll be right back. For the iPhone.